Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John and Jenna with Flippin' Ain't Easy. How was your weekend? We had a fun weekend, I can say. We went to the game. Thanks again, Mike M out there. You know who you are. And thank you for the tickets. They were right on the 50-yard line. They were really good. We had a good time. And it was surprisingly very easy to get in and out and not have to worry about parking anywhere. This in Vegas, if you're going to any venue, it is going to be really easy to go to. So if you ever go to Allegiant Stadium, there's a lot of the hotels will take you right there. You don't have to worry about parking. So um, this weekend sales though weren't very good at all, and I'm not panicking or anything because a lot of it's on me. Most of it's on me, and I, by design, didn't want to do a lot of the things that I was doing last year at the end of the year. I wanted to see what would happen if I went a solid week without doing anything. Just the only thing and I'll get to that in a second. I did something else, but the offsite ads, the discount that I had in my store, I had forgotten even, I really even forgotten that I did this. But in addition to the offsite ads, I had a 25% off markdown sale going. And those combined things, I think, really is what helped us get great sales the last 2 weeks of the year. Now, I have my sales pre-programmed, so it went back to the 10% off instead of 25% off. My offsite ads ended on the 31st. So those two factors was night and day different than what I had going on. And it's just hard for me to believe that 1 week to the next, it's going to be, if I kept all that going, I'm sure I would have had good sales this last week. Not to mention the fact that the other thing I was going to tell you about, the other thing was, you guys know we closed our store. So in doing so, we took about, I think we had like 350, 400 listings there, and we did retain about 100 of them, and we felt that they were decent enough to move over to the main store. So I'm not sure how big of a mistake that was. We're talking, the 10 to $20 hats, those kind of things. And we don't have LPs or anything like that, but it's sort of, I find myself telling people, well, you got to do the right thing from the beginning. And here I am putting crap in my main store. So we're looking at ways to get creative with it, maybe lotting some of these hats up, which is what I was doing over the weekend, putting them in lots. But eventually here, I'm not going to give it too much more time. If I find that these lower demand, lower sell-through rate items are dragging me down, they're gone. They're gone. And I guess, this is me being kind of stubborn with it. I probably should just go in and pull them now. But what I've done recently to try to correct the problem is to, number one, fix the, by the way, we have someone here working on the house. So Jenna's kind of going back and forth. So what I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm going to recreate the markdown sale that I had at 25% off. That's the older stale listings. I've already done that. The items that I don't feel are stale, that have recency, that I've listed within the last 2-3 weeks, I'm going to go in and have a secondary markdown sale for those items. In addition, and this is something that hopefully you guys can learn from, I Thursday night decided to go ahead and set up the offsite ads for my store, $10 a day, because that's kind of where I was at the last 2 weeks of the year. And the lesson I learned is, don't set up an offsite ad for Google on Thursday night, because eBay gets it on Friday and it takes them a business day to get that in play. I didn't see any clicks on my account until this morning. And that's when I only had a few clicks, and I didn't have really any activity of the weekend. So you remember last time I set up this offsite ads thing, the middle part of the month of December, and the very next day I had no sales. So it kind of it's basically recataloging everything, and the exposure, even though I did get exposure on eBay and I had a few sales, we had about half the sales we normally would. It was hurt by not having that outside exposure, I believe. So that's what we learned, what happened, things that are all within my control, everything that I mentioned to you right then and there. And I'm just going to work on, after we're done here, we're going to get to work on some of the things I talked about, like the secondary markdown sale, and just evaluating what needs to be lotted up and what needs to be taken out. Because in this game, you really have to look at stats more than a few days. I get that. But, you know, if you're in a spot where you've set yourself up to just have low sales, like I did this last week, I'm not interested in low sales over a period of time. I mean, that's just not, I'm not interested in giving money away. So it's all about the money. We had that video, we came out, and I'm not all that interested. I want to learn stuff. I want to be able to pass on stuff to you guys, but at the same time, I'm not going to take a huge hit because I'm being, I'm trying to be not only stubborn, but I want to see what happens. Right. So, and then
you're stubborn.
I am stubborn, but I can't allow it to affect the business. So that's the thing. And also not a whole lot on the information that I was expecting to get over the weekend from the folks that I've been talking to about some of these eBay questions. Apparently, these guys kind of got into a little disagreement, and I'm still waiting to hear more about what happened. So once I do, I will be able to kind of pass it on as I learn it. So only 7 minutes. So, you know, I try to take my time through it. So hopefully you guys are still here. It looks like we have about 96 people watching. So thanks for sticking with us. We have Mark Sedick with us. Says, hi, John and Jenna and all. I hit the like on Friday and sales have been up 25%. So everyone hit the like button and enjoy a big boost in your sales. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, the sales are there. The sales are to be had. It's not like I am the one that can tell you how good and bad sales are on the platform, especially when there's a lot to be desired on my end as far as what I'm doing. So I'm kind of torn. I mean, do I just take off stuff that I know has value, or return to the higher ASP model, or do I just through attrition allow that stuff to just sell out, whether it's through lotting and all that stuff? Want to know your guys' opinion on that, how you would proceed.
Know my opinion.
You'd say just burn it all down, right? What?
I mean, there are
Taking a drink, everyone.
There are some things on the account that he moved from Hot Desert Deals over to Value Trends.
Yeah.
That regardless of what you feel is going to sell and what you think that it's showing as, you know, oh, somebody paid for whatever or bought something, the things that are on that were moved, they were sitting for a reason.
Yeah.
They've been there a really long time, and it's time to cut the cord.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
I think it's just bringing down Value Trends. I really do.
I think that's part of it. I think it's part of it. So I want to hear what you guys have to say, but I'm going in and I am taking a hard look at everything that's in there. And like I said, I was giving it a week. Let's see what happens. But again, I find myself doing too many, like a ton of things, right? You know, not just one change. I'm making 2 or 3 on top of each other. And then when something works or doesn't work, how can you point to, like what happened? So, and that's because, look, this isn't a science experiment for me, especially when you're dealing with my main store. I don't want to take too much time finding out if a change is going to be detrimental. I need to make all the changes that I need to make. And I got to stop really looking at how I can make this about an experiment for YouTube. And I'm sorry about that. I know a lot of you guys kind of want me to do that, but at the same time, I'm not a YouTuber first. I'm an eBayer first. My main store is where it's at. So I've got to be mindful of that. Duncan VR, thanks for being here. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. In my niche, I use several international suppliers. One has been in business 40 years and has so much British 19th century ephemera and earlier that I will never run out of supply. I have several suppliers. That's awesome.
That's really cool. Well, thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, thank you for the super chat. And that's the key. You know, we could talk all day long about everything, but you know, your sourcing and or lack thereof, or in my case, just trying to, and this is what I'm falling into the same trap that a lot of YouTubers, and I'm talking about it, and here I am doing it, but because it's not as easy as someone getting up saying, okay, you got to just get rid of all your crap. Bottom line, I know how it feels, but I think we've got to be smart about it, and thinking that maybe the reason why the stuff didn't sell on the other account was because the whole store was crap and didn't have good items in it. Well, I think I have decent items in my store, but here I am adding crap into my store, and I think it hurts the overall sell-through rate. Yeah. But because I've done all these things at once, it's like hard to pinpoint what's going on. But yeah, I think you're right, Jenna. I think that probably tonight I just need to go.
Thank God that was on video. I mean, I don't get many of those, even though half the time I am.
See what you can accomplish when you just say it in a nice way, in a nice, unfiltered way.
Unfiltered.
Yeah,
I am
because
never
if this conversation would have went
I am never filtered.
If this conversation would have went off camera, I promise you, it would have been, why did you put that stuff on the main account?
No.
I told you it was going to be like this. Watch.
No.
Because it could still happen. But
I mean,
the
day is young.
So I'm just saying, that's just being honest. This is how it is. So
I am not a filter.
I am not a perfect man. I am not a perfect person. I try to do the best that I can with what I have. And
but you're stubborn, and that's where your failures come. Quite a bit of time.
Yeah. I mean, we got some decent things. I mean, that we transferred over, like,
I'm still not over the whole whiteboard thing.
Some of those things need to go. Some of those things need to go.
Some of those items, whether you like it.
Well, good. Then that means I'm gonna get some help with the project. So good. Jenna's happy to hear that. So I'm sure that you could have said that yourself. Josh is with us. We've got smash that thumbs up. It's going to be a banger. A real banger.
I don't know about a banger, but John might get banged up a few times.
And I gotta apologize to you guys. A lot of you guys were kind of disappointed when you went into the Power Hour podcast on Saturday, thinking there's going to be a knockout, drag down fight between Josh and I. No, Josh and I get along and pretty much agree on a lot of things. That when we actually disagree on something, it's kind of like the contrast is like, wow, we really just had at it, right? But it's not. I don't ever see a time where Josh and I are going to be like, well, you SOB, the way I do it. It doesn't work like that.
That's Josh, not how friends communicate. I mean, honestly, like if you're going to have a disagreement, like when you're in a partnership with somebody and you're doing things in a business, you know, whether you like it or not, YouTube is a business and they're putting out content and they're working together and they have to work together. And if they disagree on things, that's okay too. It's just the way you go about handling it. And that goes for a lot of things in life.
Right. And I can just say this, that Josh is too nice of a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe people say I'm a nice guy, but I think Josh is probably nicer than I am.
I think Josh is nicer than you.
And I just don't see us, even if we don't agree on a certain, because he has different things than I sell, right? Yeah. So he has different perspectives. He's going to report to you what he thinks from his perspective. I'm going to do the same. I don't know anything about the Ming Dynasty and, you know, even when it was or what they did and
what it is. I don't have a clue.
Right.
I think it's a Chinese. Is it Chinese or Japanese
No,
dynasty,
something. But
like the family dynasty. Is that what it is? I have no idea.
Right. But on the flip side, Josh probably couldn't tell you the difference between a gigabyte and a terabyte. I'm not just saying that to be mean. I'm just saying that to be real.
We love you, Josh.
It's just one of those things. So we learn what we do, and we perfect what we do. And because I don't do the things that Josh does or sell the things that Josh does, I'll never know enough about what he does to speak about it. So that's why I think a lot of times you get these channels that we all kind of tend to say something different or disagree. Not always do we agree. And then people sort of take sides because their experience is more aligned with that person than someone else's. So that's kind of how that works. Now, one thing, and I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore on this live stream. So I promise this, unless you guys ask me a question, because I'm coming out with a video about it. If you're interested, it's going to drop tomorrow. And it's just kind of go over offsite ads as it pertains to what eBay is saying. And of course, I interject with some thoughts. And one thing I wanted to say is that, and it's in the video too, but you can go in and you know how like you qualify for Google Ads because you have to have clear white backgrounds, and there's other factors, with enough item specifics and a good title and all that. You can also disqualify your items. And you do that with just the same thing that I was telling you about, having bad photos. Now, I'm not saying make sure your items have bad photos, but if you don't have a clear white background, Google's going to usually reject the listing. So if you're trying to use offsite ads and you don't like the idea that eBay is just pushing it all out there under one ad spend, you can disqualify some items based on your initial gallery photo and having a nice, cool looking background that's not white, maybe on a wood surface, or like a photo room. They have a way you can go in, and they even have different backgrounds, but AI, they'll go in and make an AI generated background for you that you can then use for that photo. And I think it's pretty sharp. So something that I'm looking to maybe do, and I was really thinking more about this with keeping the stuff that we have in the store, but if I'm going to go and filter crap out, then I may not need to do that so much with my current ad spend. So just something to think about, but it's kind of a way to get around the whole not having control over that whole setup. Jovial says, hey, FAE fam, not enough hours on the day for some, but happy National Clean Your Desk Day. Well, I didn't get that memo.
No, neither did I.
I didn't get that memo. I always sit down in the live stream and say, you know what? Today's the day. I'm going to clean the desk.
I keep saying I'm going to change his background.
Yeah.
But I haven't put forth the effort yet.
Yeah.
No, and I do have to say, my desk is with the work space is way too small.
Okay.
I don't like my desk. I want a new one.
Okay. Well, we'll try to find one. Brendan says, hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Thanks for being here, Brenda.
I just need to put it out there.
Jackie says, hi, John and Jen and everyone.
Jackie.
Thanks for being here. Henri Squaw says, howdy and happy Monday.
Howdy, howdy.
And Archie says, hello, FAA fam. So we got Archie in the house. I had to get on his biscuit butt, because we're like walking to the Raiders game, and I'm getting a notification that Biscuit Butts just started following you on Instagram. I'm like, what the hell? When did he stop following me? I guess he stopped following me when we had our little thing. So that was interesting, but I had to give him crap for that. Maya says, hello all. I had a good sales weekend and an awesome sales day Sunday. Only one sale today, though. Too bad it's over, and returns on eBay are back up in full swing since my sales are up.
You know what, though? When you have an abundance of sales, you're bound to get returns. I mean, it's just part of the business. I feel like when you're selling, returns are just inevitable.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at my stuff while she's talking. I got a neutral.
Wait, what is that?
It's a neutral. And it says package never arrived. Says delivered 4 hours ago. I was home. Well, thanks for that. Do you think I'm delivering your package? What in the heck is that? This person has 7 feedback. Now, watch me try to remove that. and watch eBay say, no, the customer is entitled to whatever they feel and they keep it.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with the actual transactional issue between us and the seller.
So one sale today,
That's what
one sale today, you know, I had $279 in sales yesterday, $100 today. So I had $100 sale. I was, like I said, you know, I went in today, I did the end item sell similar for my store. And I went in and I did that because I wanted to set up the markdown sales, wanted to get that new listing. I haven't done the end item sell similar in like weeks, guys. So wanted to just do that before I did the markdown sale. And I don't really expect a whole lot of sales today, to be honest. I kind of expect the switch to flip tomorrow once these things get indexed on Google. So I'm just going to continue to do best practices, and I'm going to just take some time to get that done.
And just an FYI, if you guys hear a drill or hammering or some kind of construction noise, we have an issue in our master closet. And so we have somebody in there doing repairs.
Yeah, this house is from 2000 and actually it's from 1999. I think.
1999.
And
98.
Yeah, and our closet butts up against the shower in the master bathroom, and apparently the pipe got funky and started leaking.
Well,
and
if you've been a long time follower of ours, you will know this is now the second bathroom to have a leak.
Do you
all remember that?
We had to have a whole remodel in that one bathroom.
Yeah,
but
this one is not as large, so the guy is in there fixing it up, and hopefully we'll be back in business soon, because you know, a disorganized closet is nothing but misery for me.
Yeah, so if you hear all that drilling and like banging, it's not coming from my brain. It's actually something happening in the house. Flip It Good says, hi, John and Jenna. Happy Monday. Thanks for being here.
Monday.
Larry Todd says, howdy. Thanks for being here.
Todd.
Amazon seller, along with Keena.
She's my in my next shopping frenzy. Her and I are going to go shopping because I think we would have the most fun.
Okay. And then we have Patricia. Says, good evening, Jen and John, here in Pennsylvania, waiting for the storm. I would love to have a storm.
No, a storm. A snowstorm or a rainstorm? What kind of storm are we talking about?
I think snow, but I'd take snow. Ping G says, hello, John and Jenna and everyone in the chat. Had 3 sales over the weekend, which I not had in forever. So
is that a good or a bad?
I think that's bad. I think Ping has sold more than 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And Tommy says, hola. And been chatting with Tommy, you know, learning just quite a bit about
Although,
things.
you know, Tommy, I have a bone to pick with you real quick. Sorry to interrupt you, honey, but
okay.
Excuse me.
Let your husband speak. I can see everyone in the comments right now. Let your husband talk, Jenna.
No, they don't care about it. They hear your voice way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please answer my question on Instagram? Thank you.
Okay. But yeah, I've been chatting with Tommy, and you just pick up nuggets from people you talk to and things that they do. We've got Junk Trader says, hello, everyone. And Jeff Zenick. Hi, John and Jenna and folks.
Hi,
Chastity's with us. I had 0 sales on eBay this weekend. Now that's not fun. Christine Anderson says, hi from snowy Wisconsin.
Nope.
Although there is no bad weather, just soft people.
Hey, call me soft.
I'll take some snow.
I don't like the wind. You guys, it was so windy yesterday when we went to the football game. Literally was making my cheeks hurt because it was so cold.
And I had a weird freaking moment. I have this jacket that I got. It's a nice ebonite. This when I used to bowl. It's a nice, really comfortable jacket. And she's telling me how cold it is. You know, I'm here going to wear my jersey to the game. And I see the jacket. I'm like, where the hell is the zipper? And I'm like, this jacket, how did I lose a zipper on this jacket? So she looked at it and like, well, just wear it. I'm like,
I was like, you
without
don't
the
have to
zipper?
zip it
So,
up.
yeah, it's cold enough. I'll wear it. So I went the whole day, and I was thinking, you know what? I don't need this freaking jacket. It has no zipper. I'll just leave it. You know.
Yeah, he was gonna
I
leave
was
it at
gonna
the
leave it. I
stadium.
was just gonna leave it. I don't want to lug this damn thing around, but I took it with me. And so I got home, I put it down. This morning, I grabbed the jacket. I was literally going to go throw it away because it's like, for me, you know, it's a really nice jacket, but what the hell? What happened to the zipper? I'm looking at it and I'm all, there's the freaking zipper. What? I had to go show her. I said, Jenna, the zipper's right here. And we both had one of those like how the hell did that happen kind of moments.
Because I even checked it. I ran my fingers up and down.
Zipper works great.
To find the zipper. Maybe it was flipped on the inside or something.
It's just really
I don't know.
Had one of those weird Twilight Zone moments.
It wasn't just John this time. So
yeah, that's why I showed it to her. I'm like, this is not me just tripping here. And of course, I don't know how to put a zipper on a thing. So it's like, what happened here? Carolyn, the Bling Bling Factor, Australia. Hi, John and Jenna. Hope 2024 has started well for you.
Well, hello.
I mean, in the scheme of things, you know, there's much more to life than the sales that you make or don't make. So from that aspect, it's pretty good. But from the sales standpoint, I need to make a lot of huge changes that I allowed to happen, transpire this year. Samantha says, good evening, John and Jenna. Hope all is well. Thank you. FAE has 2 sales for my asking price. All right.
Well, guess what? Don't thank us. Thank yourself, because you're the one that did the work. We just encouraged it.
Yeah. And then we just put a little karma out there for you, you know. Maya says, hey, John, did you ever figure out what to do with those records you mentioned in one of your videos?
Here, let
us see. You're in the way. No. Well, it's a sea of crap.
But no, you need to take the comment down. Take the comment down.
Okay, I'll take the comment down. You see
now you can see.
Yeah, we got a stack and a stack, and there's a board game, and then there's one that there's just 2. Look, I have number one, you know, when you're out, we had no time to do anything yesterday, which is not usual for me. So at some point, you're not going to see that mess behind us, but it's certainly when I have better things to list, you know, when I get that stuff, the good stuff in, this stuff waits for me until I'm ready for it. But at some point, we'll get rid of those records. Devon says, hello, it's snowing. That's awesome. It's
snowing in Idaho.
Patricia says, had a weekend and today's sales, but they are all piddly, which is probably good in a way because I stopped listing that stuff and I'm glad to see them go out the door.
That's right. I agree. Let the piddly stuff go.
Beard says, according to a YouTube viewer, I give bad advice. How dare you put an invoice in a box? That's a waste of 2 cents.
Oh, LOL. God.
I saw that video. Beard put out a video about, you know, increasing your sales. I got to tell you, though, from what I've seen, I've done that before. And I even went and got the roll of these stickers. You guys, a lot of you know it. I went and got these stickers that work with the thermal printing printer. And I did a little word thing where it came out in a small format saying, thank you. And here's the code for your next purchase. And I slapped those on every package I shipped out. And I was so excited, you know, and like, yeah, we're going to boost sales and with my 10% coupon. And you can go in and check the report. This was the only time I used this coupon code was for those stickers. And I got 0 over a 6-month period, 0 sales from the use of that code. So now as far as invoices, for me, people, like they buy the toilet seat, right? They buy a toilet seat and they get this nice little invoice. And so it's like, okay, well, maybe they got something else for my toilet seat or something, right? Well, why would they want to click on, you know, the little code to get back to my store? And then they get back and they find car parts or something totally different. They're like, no, I can't use any of this. So I just think that code, or trying to use things like newsletters, coupons, even the packing slip with your, that's not what is it? It's a barcode, but not a barcode. It's what the hell they call
QR code?
QR code. And they can click into that to go to your store. The buyer needs to have an expectation of what to come back for. And if you don't have consistent items along with what they initially bought, then that's going to be hard to use to make money. But I'm just saying from my experience. So I don't know if you're experiencing something different, but that's just my 2 cents on that.
I guess I need to watch the video. I don't know what you're talking
No one design. Don't pull them now. This live will never end.
about.
Duncan VR. Josh killed his store by ending 1,000 items at once. And similar, he killed all of his promoted campaigns and watchers. Never do drastic changes in one hit and the algorithm will die. Yeah, I think that I did a lot, and I have done a lot. And, that's just kind of the way I am. I always feel like, okay, there's a 4 or 5 days that are really subpar. We need to make some serious changes. And while I think a lot of that is true, where you need to make sure that you can do everything you can to make sure that you succeed, I think sometimes just letting things kind of take care of themselves is also another good strategy. So Archie says, Scott, they're just giving you their 2 cents.
That's right.
Yeah, 2 cents, and that's kind of all it's worth. And I think sometimes people say things in a way they shouldn't. Just because they don't agree with what you said doesn't mean you're wrong, and it doesn't mean that you don't know what you're talking about. But unfortunately, people tend to overreact when they're behind the keyboard. I promise you, and I've said this before, if someone didn't agree with your video you put out and you're at maybe a rally, the reseller rally or something like that, I'm sure they wouldn't even mention it to you, let alone say it in that way. Duncan says promoted campaigns can take 7 days to kick in.
7 days. I thought it was.
Well, they say that it takes usually around a bit, because I did some looking into it. They said it takes about a business day, usually around 12 hours, and it really depends on the demand. As you can imagine, the demand was really there the last 2 months of the year to institute an offsite ads campaign with all that free ad spend. I'm sure that a lot of that business dropped off when people weren't getting the free money to spend. Jay Rides with us says, hey, thanks for being here. And we went to the thrift store and did all that stuff on Friday. Was pretty cool. Just kind of glad I went, because it's a reminder that I'm literally half a mile away from VI. That's one of the thrift stores, and we have a bunch of them here in Vegas. And he came out, Jay Ride came out with the video talking about how the thrift stores in Vegas are really good. And I guess because it's only my only experience with thrift stores is in Vegas, I guess, because I don't have anything to compare it to. But it is a reminder that they do have inventory. I picked up something that has good resale value, and I'm sure that if I make it part of my routine, even when things get slower on the sourcing front, I can pick up a few things to add. So that certainly was a good experience, just as a reminder. Tiffin says, hi, John and Jenna.
Hello, Tiff.
Maya says, Duncan, I feel like you're right. A month ago, I stopped ending and selling similar, and my store has not suffered at all. And I can tell you that I went a long time for my standards doing the end item sell similar. I think I went weeks, and it was at the end of last year, and my sales were pretty good. Samantha says, John, if eBay recommends 12% on my $9.98, how much do they charge me? Why I ask if you can't beat them, join league. Well, the thing is, if they're recommending 12%, that's just their recommendation. Now, there's a lot of things that I think drive eBay to recommend 12%, but don't look at that as what the others are actually using for that particular same item or in that same category. eBay, and I've always said this, eBay is trying to push that number as high as they can through the power of suggestion. And they're going to get people that are desperate to make sales to up the number. So what I would say, to answer your question, on 12% on $9.98, now just the 12% is going to be somewhere around, I would say, $11. I'm sorry, $1.50-ish, I think, in maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm like $1.25.
Why don't you just break out a calculator?
Because my mind is sort of a broken calculator, so it works half the time. So about $1.25 you're going to be paying in fees from that $9.98, and then you have to add the other final value fees in there, and off of and all of it comes off the shipping. I don't know if that's $9.98 shipped. I don't know if that's $9.98 plus shipping. If it's $9.98 plus shipping, it's going to be even more than that. So again, for a $9.98 item,
I wouldn't be promoting that night.
Yeah. I mean, there's just not enough. What I usually say is there's not enough juice on the, not enough juice for the squeeze, or there's not enough meat on the bone. I almost said there's not enough juice on the bone. That's just bad.
Wow.
Or there's not enough meat to squeeze.
Honey.
I'm just saying, my mind's a little broken today. Cassidy says, I started a 25% off sale yesterday. Here comes Ken and Archie.
Here they all come.
And all of
you
them
just opened up
comments.
that.
I started off a 25% off sale yesterday, ended promoted listings, and started a new promoted listing campaign. It seems to have jump-started my sales today.
Very nice.
And I think that there's something about that 25% number. I really do. You know, I did something today I've never seen before. It has nothing to do with, you know, squeezing or anything like that. It has everything to do with what I did in the order I did it. So I did my end item sell similar, right? I wiped everything out, 350 listings. That's not a lot to you guys, I know, but to me, that's a comfort zone size store that I like to work within. 350 items, wiped them out, sell similar, immediately went in and I said, you know what? Took out the 10% sale, markdown sale, ended that and started the 25% campaign. Now I did that quickly and then I launched that. And within 3 minutes, remind you, everything was wiped out before end item sell similar. And then I went in and did the markdown sale. I had an offer to send to a watcher within 5 minutes. And that offer was off of the discounted rate, the 25% rate. So the idea that, you know, you shouldn't do an end item sell similar because it just takes so long to catalog within eBay's site is a fallacy. It doesn't take that long at all. Now, to get it cataloged and pushed out to Google, currently, if you're using Promoted Standard, it still pushes out to Google. That may take a little longer to see. I made a sale. See, they're coming. Sold a pair of Adidas Supernova Boost shoes, $32.99 plus shipping. So there we go. There we go. Victor says, hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. And then Mike Gertis says, hello, hoping to keep power. Lots of rain and wind tomorrow.
Ooh, I love rain, but I hate wind.
I don't like the wind. It just, it blows your things that are like in your backyard.
My backyard is a mess right now. I've got pillow cushions all over. I have a rug that's always out there in front of his barbecue, and that's thrown up against the wall. So I'm like, okay, as soon as it stops being windy, I'll go move everything back.
Well, and then 12 plus, well, that's not the percentage. That's basically 24 point. Yeah, that sounds about right. On the other thing that we're dealing with, I think it was, who was it that said it? It was Samantha that said that she's doing $9.98 with 12% or looking at 12%. I just think that you need to draw a line, and a lot of people only use like 3%, like 3.1. Don't be at 2%. No matter what you do, don't go that low, because the people that feel obligated, that really, really don't want to use promoted, are at 2%. So you're just going to be hanging out with them. Be a little bit higher than that. I'd say, 3% is a good starting point. And then as things kind of sit in your store, just up the percentage to help get it out of there. Tommy says lot and let go. And I did do that. I did that with some of the hats. We're looking at some of these sad hats. And the plan has been, and I did this on Saturday, is to lot them up and get rid of them. And I did sell a lot of two that I thought these two hats would never sell. So
I knew they would. I'm glad they went as a pair.
Yeah, because they're the same place, right? Sandra says, hello, everyone.
Hi,
thanks for being
Sandra.
Here. Duncan VR says, you really need to sell for better profits. If less sales but more money, that's better than a ton of sales at less money. Profit John, no Angels hat today. I got to wear one for the channel, the Flippin' Ain't Easy channel hat.
Switch it up
I have a stack of hats, guys. I mean, I have a ton of freaking hats. And if I had my way about it, I'm like her with shoes or purses. I would have like, even double if I didn't have self-control.
I don't have a collection of shoes or purses.
You don't?
Might I add?
If you had your way, I said.
But jewelry.
Well, that too.
That's a different
or how
story.
about this?
Or
makeup.
Makeup.
Let's collect makeup. And so let's buy this thing that maybe in 3 years we're going to use, or maybe we're going to forget about, and we'll find out about it in 2 years when we come across it.
That's a no.
Okay.
Because I use everything I have.
Over time. Samantha says, oh, I catch the eBay Power Hour number 12. I like it. Very informative. Josh is exhausted, but you guys are good. Can't wait for number 13, Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you for, hey, do it.
8 a.m.
Oh, don't, yeah. Well, you can get there at 8 a.m.
If you get there, you're going to be waiting a couple of hours.
It's 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern.
Yeah.
But I need your guys' help. We have 149 people watching. If you are not subscribe to the Power Hour, eBay Power Hour podcast, please do us a favor and go in and subscribe. We are literally 8 shy of 1,000. So
come on, guys, give the guys a nugget.
So if you could do that, kindly do that for us. I'd certainly appreciate that. Amazon seller 99 says, I truly believe all these theories about junk items pushing people's store down is garage. Good listing with good items sell. Bad listings with bad items don't. List good stuff, price well, and promote. I think you meant to say garbage.
Yeah.
I think there's something within the algorithm, and the algorithm, of course, it's partially AI, and it's learning, right? So you dump a whole bunch of non-high sell-through, like low sell-through rate stuff in your store. I really believe that the algorithm is it going to dump you down to the bottom? No, it's not. Good items will sell, but I just really believe, from what I've seen with my own experiences in selling crap in what I thought was a good store, that it doesn't work all that well. So what I'm going to do is, and what I have been doing is, it's lotting a lot of that stuff out, and that lowers the number of listings that's in your account. And so, like I've said, like on the last video, doing everything right starts with what you put on the site. That's the first step in doing anything right. That's why someone can list an iPhone with a bad listing, and if they have a halfway competitive price, it's going to sell. Mm-hmm. So just know that I go out there every day when I'm sourcing, and I'm not buying crap. Now I'm trying to make do until we get to a yard sale where I can offload a lot of this crap that I have from the other store. But at some point, I'm going to have it off of the main store, and through attrition or pulling it off in the very near future, I'm going to have return back to where I was at. Bearded Picker says, it is bringing me down now. Cut the cord. Going to listen to Shine Down now. Who's Shine Down? Is that some kind of?
It's a show.
Maybe that's kind of like an Alabama.
Maybe he's leaving us because he didn't take well to the 2 cents.
I don't know, but maybe that's some kind of like Alabama moonshiner like group. I'm just giving you.
Stupid. You know nothing about it.
I know nothing about it. I'm not even going to look it up. Primo Kimo says, aloha. The first week of 2024 has been extra slow.
It sure has.
Well, I hope we all can kind of get back on track. And, I've even said this before, so it's not a surprise, and I'm not in panic mode because of it, that usually the first week of the year historically has been slow, and then things start to pick up again. I don't know why that is, but that's just the way I've seen it. Callie Deb says, hi, John and Jen in chat. I didn't realize it was 3 p.m. I got busy listing.
Hey,
well, that's more important than listening to me.
Listing.
Devon says, OMG, I just figured out how to get the authenticity guarantee on my listing. So what are you selling and how did you do it? I want to know what you have to say about that. Tommy Weber, I took a hard look at my prices, lowered them, and sales have been coming in. We'll see how this looks after a week.
I think that's a common thing that should be part of your weekly or monthly tasks, is going through and just checking to make sure that you're still within eBay's little whatever you want to call it.
I'll let you call it whatever you want to call it.
I
You get to call it whatever you want. This is your time.
I don't know. Never mind.
Well, there we go. So you guys do everything she just said, and you're going to be just fine.
Don't do anything I say.
Camille says, hey guys, what do you do if a buyer buys something and wants it shipped to a different name and address? So
no.
Can't say no, not necessarily. Here's the deal.
I said, don't do as I said.
Well, you got to look at, you can't look at every scenario the same. If it was $100 item, I would be, eBay requires us to ship to the address you give us. So I'm going to go in and cancel this. And what you need to do is go in, redo it, and enter the address you want it shipped to. That way you don't lose your seller protection. Now, if we're talking about a $20 item, for me, it's enough to say, just give me the address. They probably already did. Go in and put that in, plug it in, and ship it. Now, we say losing seller protection. Chances are, if it ever came down to them saying, hey, shipped it to the wrong address, I didn't ask for it, I never got it, then it's one of those things where you can contact eBay and say, hey, look, they contacted me. They asked me to, and chances are they're going to side with you. But I'm not going to leave it to chance to the judgment of an eBay rep. I've learned my lesson many times on that. So if it's a high-priced item, I'm just going to have them redo it. Tommy says price is going to be key this year for normal items. So, and I apologize. I said Tommy. I meant Tammy. Sorry. Yes, I did. And I was like, wait, that's Tammy. So I apologize, Tammy. Tommy says, Tammy, this is getting to a tongue twister now, says price is going to be key this year, IMO for normal items. I think so. I really do.
In my opinion.
IMO. Mike Camparelli says, hi, John and Jenna. Just got in. Had to do real work today. Reselling is definitely a better alternative. Sales have bounced back.
Yes.
That's what we want to hear.
We need a good bounce.
Yeah. I'm certain. That's why I say rebounding from a slow sales weekend, because that's an optimistic take on, what I'm dealing with. And if I put in the work, if I put in the time and I make the right changes, then it's going to take care of itself. Even if that means, this is another thing, what I might do before pulling down the crap that I put on this store. And I call it crap. I mean, we did weed out the real bad stuff. We didn't put that on the store, but maybe going in and making a separate markdown sale of like 50% off for those items. And I believe that'll help as well. Because the goal is to get rid of them. And then when we have the yard sale, probably the next month and a half or 2 months, it'll be
a month and a half. I'm saying more like April, May.
Okay, well, then we'll do it. Noah Design Ken says, John, you may not be a perfect man, but you're a perfect woman in my book. Thank you. Have you ever seen me with a wig on? Those of you who've actually been with the channel for the long time, when we did the unboxing video, we found the red wig. The red long-haired wig, and I put it on, and I believe I even have a video with that on the cover.
I actually have a picture of another time.
A thumbnail. Speaking of thumbnails, what do you guys think about the thumbnails I've been putting out? Are they off, off the wall?
They're off the chain.
I think they're pretty darn good. Now, if you think for a second that I have any thing to do with those thumbnails, you're wrong. I'm not that artistic. This is all with Midjourney AI, and it's absolutely amazing. And I think I'm going to continue doing that rather than just me, making a stupid face on half of the thumbnail.
You got to switch it up. Not everybody wants to see your face all the time.
So I'm making little changes like that to the channel. And I think I'm going to be working on changing. I have what I think is a great idea, but I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm going to let you, be surprised with everyone else.
I would like to know.
You already do know. I told you, but you didn't remember. So we'll talk about it off camera. But I'm going to be making some changes to the intro that you guys see.
I remember now.
Christine says, I headed out to source today knowing the snow was on the way. Went to 2 Goodwills and only found 5 decent items. That was not money. Go home, Goodwill, you're drunk. So there's nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong with going to a place you normally go to and just you're not fine. I would rather you not find as much stuff or anything for that matter than to feel like, well, I made the trip. I might as well buy something to list today. because that's the first mistake. I say, you know, I've gone to thrift stores when I used to go, and I'd leave empty-handed all the time because you just can't force it. So you found 5, and hopefully they're
5 is better than none.
But
okay?
when you say 5 decent, are you, see, that's another thing. If you're settling, are you, when you're sourcing, are you settling when you go out and buy stuff?
Don't feel like you're pressured to buy something just because you're out, even though, yeah, it really is you know, it makes you really pissed off if you don't come home with something.
Beard says, sounds like John just admitted he's thick-skulled and forces Jenna to use extreme means to get her point across.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't force her to do anything. That comes naturally. Are you kidding me? Duncan says, hi, Josh. It will take 3 to 4 weeks to get your store sales back. Don't end any more campaigns. So that's a Josh. So Josh is also kind of going through it, you know, trying to figure out.
Josh is trying to get his inventory, like, and I don't blame him, because once that inventory is good and everything is organized and ready for the next venture, it's going to be so easy to run the business. I mean, we've changed our store organization. I don't even know how many times now. Yeah. I can tell you that Posh has changed organization like at least 5, 6, 7 times. But once you have it the way that you want it, or you the business flows a lot better with it, it just makes life so much easier.
Well, just listening on his live today, Josh's live, he was talking about how he would just rush to put listings out, and he went back through them recently, finding bad titles, finding just all kinds of problems with the listings. And that's the problem with the mentality of, you know, let's list fast. You find yourself maybe listing out of a template, right? So I have, let's say, just for lack of a better item, maybe a hat. And so I have just a stack of hats. We got a whole thing of them here, but let's say I have a stack of hats. Those are listed. And let's say I have 100 hats. And so instead of going in and making a new listing, you're basically going in and making a template, and you're pre-filling everything out. And so that way you're just changing the title. Your shipping's all the same. You don't have to change that. And you really don't even have to change your item description, even though I think you should. But the mentality is, let's skip through that so we can get the item listed. You know, we're just adding photos and changing title and just firing it out. Maybe even having a set price for every hat, right? And I think that's a mistake, because a mistake that we maybe don't think is a mistake at the time, but when we're going back, it's a mistake. For instance, I have a hat that I pulled out. It's an Ed Hardy. It's an Ed Hardy hat, right? And it's like one of those trucker hats, has some bling on it. And
I want to take a look at
that. It's kind of a cool hat, but the comps for similar hats for Ed Hardy are like $30+. Now, I almost threw that in the crap bin because I didn't know any better. But had I listed all my hats,
you didn't ask your wife.
Had I listed all my hats at $9.99, it probably would have sold like fast, and I would have been happy to sell it. But I wouldn't have realized that has a little bit more sell through and a little bit more profit than the other hats do. So, you know, it just a learning experience. Josh will definitely learn from, and the next time he gets a large lot, it might take him a little longer to list, because he's no longer putting everything into one
template.
Yeah. And I think that's a huge mistake, because the goal, I think, for every reseller shouldn't be, at least in 2024, should no longer be, how many items can I list today? You know, can I, you know, I'm usually able to list 50. Can I push 75? And because when you get that mentality, you're more willing to take shortcuts, and you're opening yourself up for more errors. So for me, it's about getting it done right. And I don't even care. I don't keep a tally on how many I list. I just do is I started this time, I ended this time. And did I give my best effort? Did I bust my butt during that time? And that's worked well for me up to this point. Tactical Z's with us. Thanks for being here.
Tactical Z.
Here's Roman, says Ken knows whenever his crackheads are stubborn about anything, he just hires more crackheads, and new crackheads fire old crackheads. Hello, everyone.
Can I fire this one? This hard head is a hard head.
Not a crackhead.
No, you're
Now,
not.
some people would think
No.
I'm a crackhead, an Adderall head.
Okay,
or whatever.
okay. We're not.
Tommy says, yeah, you guys told us it was going to be heated. My 5-year-old gets more heated with me.
I agree.
I'm sorry. That's why I apologized. That
was not heat. That wasn't heated.
If you're tuning into the eBay Power Hour for drama, you're probably not going to see it ever. Okay. No. And in fact, I got to say, and this is not clickbait, we are going to have one of the goats in the industry of eBay reselling / YouTube on our show on Saturday's show. And just stay tuned. It's going to be that's
going to be a banger.
That'll be a banger because, whenever you have someone with so much knowledge, it's just like we have to be willing to be two sponges just going into it, just trying to absorb as much good information as we can. Let's see. We have Silver Hair Stacker Larry Todd says, Josh and John need to argue more. I am sorely disappointed. Maybe we need to sell. We don't even disagree.
John is the nice. Definitely, John is the nice one.
No.
No.
I'm not. Duncan VR says, how's the ceiling fan sales? Buy one, get one free toilet seat. I can't even say toilet seats really anymore because we
haven't sold a lot of those lately.
We haven't received a lot. We don't get a lot of the same stuff, which is why, to tell someone to come back and, if you like this toilet seat, your mother's gonna love
the bed rail.
I just don't. Yeah, repeat buyers to me, I don't want to.
Yeah, we don't really have repeat buyers for that reason.
Josh says John and I argue through apologies. Meg says, hey all.
Meg.
Let's see what we got here. Beard says no F-bombs, name calling. I was so disappointed.
I know, I knew you would be. I kind of was.
Tommy says, Josh, you may be onto something. I'd get rid of chit chats and ship my own. My 2 packages, only one is tracking, other shows delayed. What's chit chats? Did I miss something there? That has to be something with shipping, but I've never heard of it. Duncan's offsite ads for toilet seats, $100 daily budget. See, I can't not talk about offsite if you guys keep bringing it up. Tactical Z says, I have the show. I gave the show a like, but did not make a sale yet. We have 24 hours.
You have 24 hours. So your sale is on its way.
Beard says, Josh and John, I need to take this moment to remind you that Amazon loves you and will sell your stuff quickly. Here's why I disagree, Beard. They don't love half the stuff I've tried to put on there because they will not ungate me for this crap. And then when I do, finally, because it's Amazon liquidation, it's usually a third-party brand that will get pissed off at me for piggybacking off of their listing and file a counterfeit claim on me, thus hurting my account health. It's just, I've been there. I've tried to make the transition over many a times. And unless you're selling like big brands that you can get ungated, yeah, you could sell new used stuff. You've talked about that a lot of times in your channel. But my experience is the used crap that I put on there doesn't sell very fast. Thomas said, Josh, that's going to kill your metrics. That's not an option to have them destroy your business. No, it is not. Pamela Roberts. Sorry, I mispronounced. I know I mispronounced that. I apologize. Do not become a robot to IA. Sure you mean AI. Nope. Artificial intelligence is just that. And it is only as good as those who program it as well. There will always be flaws. So I believe that AI is going to become a huge part of this platform, whether we like it or not. That's where eBay is going. And the more successful folks are going to save themselves time and energy by finding ways to integrate AI into their current processes. So whether that is developing item specifics for items that you really don't have a lot of information on through AI, or maybe even enhancing your photos through backgrounds and things like that. So AI is a big thing, and it's going to only get bigger as we get into it. So it's something to keep in mind. If you now fall on the other side of the coin where you are going to be reliant on it, maybe you decide that you're going to let AI just do everything for you, and it's a set it and forget it kind of a model, that's where you're going to find issues, and you're going to run into problems, because there are flaws. You know, even if you have AI going and making an item description for you, you got to go in and double check it. Why? Because it doesn't always represent the item you're actually selling. The Mad Scientist 40K says today is slow sales. Well, let's fix that. Let's figure a way to find out what you're selling, and is it selling for anyone else? And if it is, why are they making sales as compared to you? And it just very well may be that that particular item isn't selling. So keep pushing forward is what I say. Anytime picker. Todd, my pictures are from eBay's forgotten stock of old photos from the 80s. Well, they weren't around in the 80s, so I don't know where they got that stock from. Beard says, had a cashier tell me this weekend they didn't expect a bald, bearded dude to buy so many feminine hygiene products. And when I told Jenna, because I remember seeing you say that, you should have told them that you were a prepper and you're just getting ready for some heavy days. Tactical Z says, I didn't expect to see a bald bearded guy dancing around in women's underwear when I got on YouTube the other day, and that was funny. Beard had his granny panties on, and it wasn't pretty. Let's see. Beard says, my maxi pad sales are more than your eBay account today. Join the dark side. Junk Trader says, Beard, you should have given her your YouTube name to follow you for more shocking things that you do. Let's see. Amazon seller says, Amazon has been the same way for the last 10 years. As sellers, we pick the delivery method. So therefore, if our third-party shipper contractor didn't deliver, it's our fault for choosing them. Yeah, if you sell on Amazon and you think eBay is very restrictive and difficult on sellers, or they give sellers a hard time, just try selling on Amazon for a while. You'll see a huge difference. Devon says, hit the like button. I agree. Hit that like button, guys. Within the next 24 hours, you're going to get a sale. I don't know how it works or why, but so many people report that they get a sale. And now you could be like some that would think maybe it would have sold anyway. But if we put it out there, positive vibes, hit the like button.
You're all going to get a sale.
The Mad Scientist 40K says, I started the year by inventory left and right and cleaning up my death piles, listing like crazy, and ended all promoted listings. No more pay to play, free money for eBay for me. And everyone's going to have a different path to success. If you are able to do all those things and you can eliminate promoted listings from that success, then that's awesome. It's certainly possible depending on the things that you have. My thought process, though, is that if you are struggling to make sales and you've switched recently over to no promoted, that's might be part of the problem. And do I say that I'm not going to promote an additional 5% over my final value fees that I'm already paying? Let's say it's a $20 item. So 5% of $20 is not a whole lot, guys. We're not talking like a huge amount of money. We're literally talking about what 5% of 20 is somewhere like $1, a little over $1, around $1. It is $1. And so you're basically stepping over that profit that you could have made on that item, or that opportunity to make the sale for $1. And I just think that as much as we all hate giving eBay extra money, it's all about how do we make the money. And if that means that eBay is going to get an extra cut and I'm going to make a little bit more, that's what should matter more than anything else. Let's see. Henri Squaw, we have snow coming our way come Friday.
Snow.
That's awesome. And the Disgruntled Octopus says, morning, humans. How are you all?
Thanks for being here.
Roman says, John wore that jacket in hopes that Raiders somehow will make the playoffs. No,
we had no chance.
But it was fun beating the Broncos, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So Samantha says, never say never. I tried AI. No sale is yet. Tried the white feature for pick sale. Yeah. Now I want my feet in the water. More promotion info, please. So our little source that I've been dealing with stated that AI has fixed the background removal feature on eBay, whether it's on the website or the app. And I can tell you, and I sent this data over, I used the background removal feature on the app on a photo, and I compared it to what I did with, say, a program like Photo Room for the same exact photo, and it removed pieces of the item as part of the background through the AI driven one on eBay, and Photo Room got it right. And so I sent them both pictures, asking them, guess which one was eBay's. Now, the thing with eBay's background removal tool is they don't give you a way to go in and touch it up. Even like Photo Room will make mistakes, but you can go in and touch it up and say, no, this is part of the photo, not the background. So the idea that eBay's fixed it, if that's being fixed, then they've got a long way to go on that front. So word salad, yes, that might be my name today. And then Ken also says toilet seat you want to put in invoice. That paper is extra service for you buyer using the toilet seat. That's great customer service. Yeah, maybe I should put in like in little squares too, right? Samantha says, oh, I have a package stuck on the water in the shipping container for 5 weeks.
Oh,
I have contacted the buyer, dreading the conversation on that, but it has to be done. Virgin Island. Yeah, communication will resolve any well, not all uncomfortable situations, but it will make it less uncomfortable. At least the person, if you approach it in a proactive way where you're apologetic. But most buyers, I can't say all because some people are unreasonable, but most buyers will be understanding and won't be as evil or mean as maybe you think that they might be initially in your mind. Tommy says, I don't do any of that either. I found the conversion on coupons and stuff is worse than my conversion rate with women in high school. Public coupon has worked 100 times better for me. Yes, public coupon. I love the idea of a public coupon because they get into your listing. Okay, so the impression is taken them to see your listing. Something about the listing has compelled them to click into the listing. And now that coupon serves as just yet one way to compel them to follow through and convert the page view into a sale. And I definitely feel like without it, there's my sale conversion rate would be a lot lower than it is because people look at it as a way to save money. I've learned that, and people don't math very well. So they see 10%, and they're like, wow, 10%. And they really, on a $20 item, it's only $2, but they're thinking it's probably more than that, right? So they click into it, they buy it, and we make more sales because of it. Vet Junkies says, what should I just list stuff at a buy it now price or auctions? I would recommend, if you're starting out, list stuff at a buy it now price. Find out what it's recently been selling for, and try to be as competitive as you can. Maybe be as lower than the average. Don't go too low because we're not trying to race to the bottom. But you might be, if that item doesn't sell over time, you might be inclined to lower the price or use markdown sales on it. Patricia says auctions seem only beneficial for high demand, rare items. I kind of agree. If you have items that maybe you've never seen before, it's like, wow, this could be a one-off, really rare item, then an auction is probably going to do better than just winging it and putting it up and guessing about the price. I think a lot of people, they throw just a random price on an item and people snatch it up real fast because they just don't take the time to do the homework on an item.
Pink said what I was going to say.
Many buyers don't want to wait the 5 to 10 days for an auction to end. So fixed price, buy it now is more popular to use. Yes, 100%. Roman says, similar analogy as if you had Hunter answering eBay support when you called them. Wow. I guess Sunny's having good sales.
Sunny! I hope you're feeling better, Sunny.
Yeah, I hope so too. That's more important than the sales.
Yeah.
Not Funny says auctions can work to get rid of stuff, won't get top dollar, but can move stuff.
Yeah.
Like when I lock these LPs up, I'm not selling them individually. I'm just going to go in and put them on an auction, have a buy it now. Someone wants to, pull the trigger and, think they're getting a deal, but move them, get them out of here. Tommy says, if you build your store as an auction store, they do amazing. Closing seller I follow does mind-numbing sales, only auctions. Cargo Largo has done well also. So the idea behind that is you set your starting price to where this is the lowest that I will be willing to take for this item. And then you have your buy it now set for the ideal price that you want for that item. And you're hoping that you find two people who really want that item and will fight over it. And it'll get higher. It'll be higher than what your buy it now price is. Problem with that, I think, and just in my opinion, is that you don't get the benefit of the markdown sale on that item. You don't get the benefit of the coupon. It involves a lot of interaction where you have to go back, relist the items if it doesn't sell in 5 days, 7 days. To me, it's just not something that I enjoy doing. And then Sunny says meat squeeze. Yep, there we go. That's horrible. The Tommy Bernard podcast says, look at Luck Swap. If you sell clothes, he will make you rethink life. And I'm not going to even repeat what Beard said there. Copycat says, just making it into the live. I have just started reselling the past few months. Just to let y'all know, I always learn from you, and I've been able to improve my reselling business. So that's awesome. You know, anytime we get feedback like that, it kind of makes it all worthwhile. So I appreciate it. That's why we keep going. I'm not going to answer that. Whatever Tommy just said says, Maya said, Luck Swap. Okay, I'll check them out. One of the other clothing seller I see doing auctions is some guy on the other side of the pond. We won't mention or give that guy any clout. No One Design says, John said there is not enough squeeze on the meat to juice on the whatever. Guys, come on. That's a word salad. Yes. Samantha says, John, what other things? Did you just Samantha. Sorry, I'm trying
Samantha, to I apologize for him.
John, what other things do you sell? Are you collectibles, etc., electronics? What are you going to increase more of? I'm going to increase
whatever we can get our hands on.
If you know, I come across some granny panties that are new in the package and they sell well.
No, that didn't work out.
I'm gonna call Beard and say, hey, what do you think about these? But I'm going to consider
a try-on video.
I mean, if it's appropriate, I'm going to sell it. If it's questionable, like really like questionable, like stuff I wouldn't want to mess with.
Yeah, we don't sell collectibles. We do sell electronics. We do sell everything under the sun, almost.
I mean, you could call some of the things that we have as collectibles, like that Ford football helmet that no one's bought yet. I'm waiting for the unicorn buyer on that one, but I should probably just go in and bring the price down on that. But yeah, I'll sell whatever can sell, you know, that kind of thing. Not funny says most things I see in auction get a reasonable price. Or not at all. They don't sell, or they get bought up at a really ridiculously low price. There's a lot of people who look for auctions that sell at a low price so they can buy them and resell them properly. What does that say? Maya says, yeah, I searched it. His inventory is good for auctions, lots of vintage and luxury, plus all the special fabric contents. There's always a demand for those. Sonny says, back to promoting after 3 months. It was rough. 2.3% made a huge difference of listings I've had during my no promo testing. Yeah, I think even if you're promoting at something over 2%, I think you're going to do a lot better than not promoting at all. Yeah. And there's people that hate me for saying that, but that's the way I look at it. I'm not going to change my opinion. Tommy says, but look at his 90-day solds. I forget what it was. It was thousands per 90 days with probably 80 to 100 average sell price. That's pretty darn good. Fun Loving Reseller says, eBay Motors ad leading into your show. Keep up the great content.
Really?
Awesome. Well, it's going to be eBay's plan for the foreseeable future to promote the featured categories and eBay Motors. You know, they're going to continue to put money into those things until they decide. And the folks that I've been talking to have said, don't be surprised if eBay never advertises again for the type of items that we sell. I think that's a mistake, but it looks like eBay doesn't seem to care about the other 95% of items that are on their platform. Let's see. Junk Trader says connections. It's all about connections, and I ain't got any. Haha. There you have it. But, you know, it's all about getting off of eBay Island. So I don't know where you live, what town you live in, or what, huh?
Her name's Anissa.
What did I say?
Nothing. I'm just telling you her name.
Okay.
Because you're starting to talk to her. So never mind. My God. You don't have to make a thing of it.
Well, I'm just wondering why you stopped me for. That's all. But what I was trying to say is, see if there's other resellers in your community, and you may not live in a like Las Vegas or anything like that, but chances are, if you reach out, meet people that do the same thing that you're doing, then you can now build a network where maybe there's things that they come across that you're willing to pick up off of them, or they can throw you a bone and, hey, go over here, and there's people over here selling the very thing you're looking for. Victor says, I just want to say that I despise the eBay return format. What a piece of garbage. So I'm curious what you think about it and why. I mean, you already told me what you think about it, but why you feel that way. Exactly, is it the fact that eBay only gives us, what, 3 days, 2 days, 3 days? Feels like it's just a snap your finger, and they as soon as the return is shows that it was delivered to you, they're like on you like white on rice to get this thing refunded. But the buyer, they get 35 days to send it back. Just take your time. Rain says it's music. Kelly says it's a rock band. Okay, we're talking about the band that hating on Shinedown. Hey, I don't know anything about him. I just was guessing there.
John is very limited in his music education.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't know who Shinedown was.
This is coming from the person that whenever we're sitting around somewhere,
you even, that
songs play, and I'll say, who is this? And she'll be like, I don't know. And it's like, oh my goodness. And it's always like, it always seems to be Hall & Oates when we're.
It's always Hall & Oates.
But it always seems to be that way. But it is what it is.
I have a brain injury. I have an excuse.
Well, some people could say that I have a brain injury too.
Well, you don't. So what else is it?
Sonny says first week was amazingness. Okay. You can't be making up words in this channel. It doesn't work for me. December was crickets. Samantha says, I'm going to be positive. We as resellers has to figure out what these as buyers wants, or you can't be throwing words out there with the wrong. You can't be throwing the wrong words out there for me. Just give them a good price, what you're saying. I refuse to count this Amazon sale as my thumbs up sale. eBay doesn't get off the hook that easy. Yeah, you're going to get sales on Amazon at a much higher clip than eBay. The trick is getting them on the platform and being competitive. You can do that, without get past the gating issues and all that stuff, then you're fine. Tommy says, Brandon price is all that matters with authentication. We don't have to do anything special. And then Spam Banshee. You two always make me giggle. Thanks. Awesome. Thanks for being here.
Well, good.
There's only one Spam that I know, maybe, of course, due to the logo, but I believe Spam is on Primo Chemo's channel. So I don't know if it's the same Spam or not. Thomas says, kill the intro. I hate skipping it every day, costing me time. No, this intro is necessary, and you'll understand once you see it. It's just necessary. So it'll be fun. I'm going to have some fun with it. It may take a while to see it. It's not going to be out on tomorrow's video or anything like that, but you'll see it once you see it, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Let's see. Lisa Nia says Savers is insane too. They're asking store prices on most things. Plush were $1.99 to $3.99. Now they're $4.99 average. Huh? Disney way more. You have to dig for items. They didn't know the value and use a coupon.
Wow.
Yeah, I just between Savers, Goodwill, maybe DI even. I mean, DI had all of their shoes. I mean, it didn't matter what they were, $10.
And say what DI is in case people don't.
That's Red Industries, but people call it DI. And the good thing about them is they don't charge sales tax. So I don't know. I do recall. No, they don't. Because I'm like, okay, $5. You're not going to charge me tax? No, we don't charge tax. Okay, cool. Good to know. Roman said Todd's desk already has been monetized long time ago, but it doesn't tell Todd about it. Patricia says Iowa shipment out for delivery today. USPS priority held up for weather exception.
Wait, was that Lissa?
Oh,
It
listen.
is.
Howdy.
That.
Great FAE peeps. My turn to be tardy. Been listening whilst driving, though. Hello, wonderful Jenna and John.
Hello, beautiful friend.
Thanks for being here. Noah Design says that he'll help me with his intro. I was a marketing genius when I was a welder fabricator back in my days. Have Jenna throw something in your mouth and title it "What's in John's Mouth on the Other Side." Wow, it's horrible. Wonder Bag says here. Thanks for being here.
Hello.
And we have Bama Jaybird Reselling. What's up? How you doing?
Oh my gosh, how cool.
Do me a favor, hit me up on email, flippingainteasy2020@gmail.com. Well, I like to have, like, every month, like, have a new channel, like smaller channel on the show. And so
we'd love to have you on.
Yeah, I'd love to have you on one time.
Yeah.
Brenda Smith says,
his name's Josh, by the way.
Josh, yes.
He's another Josh.
Just, Josh Johns, right?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, we got to do better. So if you're having a child out there and you believe that at some point in their life they're going to be a reseller, do not name them Josh or John. Brenda Smith says, I find handwriting all the specifics out on scrap paper helps with a quality listing. But it does take a little longer,
That's
right?
time consuming.
It does take a little longer. And, it's probably just as fast to say, go through the item specifics, fill in the ones and maybe use something like Bard AI as your friend to say, what is this item specific for this item? And maybe paste your title in there. And then say, well, what about this item specific? Boom, it'll do its best to tell you. Sometimes it guesses, so you have to have your BS meter on, but for the most part, it'll find good information for you. Let's see. Land Shark Picker. My appearance check hasn't cleared yet, so I may not be on that show. Amazon seller. Oh, so Pete's going to be on the podcast. My guess, based on John's tells. I'm one for one so far. Guest bearded picker, and John tried to lie and say no. I love
John's a terrible liar.
No,
just
I'm a
so
great
you
poker
know.
player, though.
No, yes, he's a great poker player.
I ain't telling.
But he is a terrible
liar. I ain't going to say. Beard says quantity listing leads to quantity buying, lowering standards to make a number. Then you have a store full of junk, but you listed 200 today. Yeah.
Right.
Beard says, I've never been referred to as a goat, more of a donkey, I suppose. But he does have the beard, like the goat beard going on.
Stop.
Love you, Beard. I'm sure you're going to give me crap.
Well manicured.
I'm sure you're going to give me some crap at some time. The way you guys pick on Tom and all that. Tommy says, plus the blanket pricing when listing 100 a day at same price instead of researching isn't going to fly anymore. It isn't.
Right.
It's like, okay, this is a hat. So let's put it at $9.99, and it's the same as like throwing, shit on the wall and hope it doesn't fall down or, wanting it to stick. So it's not always going to work.
Every time I see Craig, I want to go.
Craig.
What's that? What's that movie? Craig.
I don't know.
Is that Friday after next?
Well, I haven't seen any Friday yet. That's the thing.
Seen any Fridays?
We watched the Cat Williams interview with Shannon Sharp, and I need to see those movies because I really want to know what they're talking about. Tommy says, Lisa, not currently. Tracy ran off with El Chapo's grandson, is currently building a compound and starting Waco Part 2. Yeah, Tommy, he's retired. He is not making any more content. You'll be lucky to see him appear on someone's channel down the road at some point. But I mean he's just not doing it anymore. He just refuses. Yeah. Jovial says, we are allowed to attend Beard's class tonight if we only read the cliff notes instead of the book. Yeah, he's doing I think Profit First
right thing. After us.
I can't be on that later tonight. I hope you guys go in and drop in because
what are you doing?
Because I haven't even read the first chapter of the book yet, so I can't.
Wow.
I haven't. I just.
Isn't there an accountability group?
I have the book, and it's sort of like the folks that go and buy stuff.
Accountability group.
It's like the folks that go and buy stuff and don't list it. Well, it's right here.
It's right here, but that
see. Profit first. That's the book he's telling you. See, I'm not even past the this is audible part.
Random house audio.
I want this.
Okay,
Turn it
yeah.
off. Okay, there we go. I've actually listened to more of the book than I have up to this point, but it's nothing against the book. It just has everything to do with me just not doing
Accountability.
it. Mr. Sadie, I hit the like, donating my sale back to you to pay it forward. Awesome. Thrifty Loon.
Who's that?
Jason E, everybody's still ending and sell similar.
Yes.
A lot of people are. I know that Tommy has been a big proponent of the end and relist. He feels like it works well for him, and I need to have a deep dive conversation about that with him. But for me, I'm going to continue using the end item sell similar, just not as frequently. Let's see. Thrifty Loon. I live to make eBay more money. Always do dynamic ad rates. Give them everything you got. Well, don't look at it like that. Don't look at it like that. I mean, hey, I'm not a proponent of just letting eBay. I don't know if Archie's here or not. Letting eBay fleece you.
Oh my
God. Trigger word.
Why would you do that?
Because we're on a good level. We can joke with each other. And I didn't say it with intensity.
Let it go. Sorry, Archie. He's just an asshole.
Oh boy, just throwing that at him just for fun. But don't use dynamic ad rates for the heck of it. Okay. Build your rates up until you get to a point where you feel like you're getting pretty good sales from the program. I think that's probably the best way to do it. Richard Spanuski says 10 inches of winter sugar on Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania.
Winter sugar?
It's called snow, I think, for something. Rob something says, I think Amazon is great. You just need to understand and follow their rules and know how to tell what listings you can and can't jump into to avoid IP claims. Huge opportunities if you can do this. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think you're right as well. It's just we don't have the kind of items that.
Yeah. Ours barely qualify for eBay. Reef the Sea Forever says, hello, fellow eBayers. Thanks for being here. Lisa says, I use Photo Room and it does in batch of 50 fast. It's the best by far. Yeah. And I really like the whole thing that they do with AI. And there's a lot of cool looking backgrounds you can use that. Again, I'm focused on a white background for most listings on the first photo. If I can maybe do the other photos to where they're really nice, sharp, I'll use it. Acoustic Clip Notes says, John, I'm number one in my niche. Bless you.
Thank you.
My niche category, but what does this mean? What average do I get from being number one seller from thousands, or does it not matter? For me, it tells me that you're probably maxed out on what you're going to get for that item, because unless you're able to take market share away from your competitors, it doesn't tell you how far ahead you are from number two. So you're doing good is what it's telling you. So keep doing that. Catherine Cathart says, when you unlist your eBay listing and sell similar, are you selling similar to your own listing or someone else's? Thanks. No, that's your own listing. Okay, so like for instance, I have a bunch of items that are listed. They've been stale. They've been sitting for a while. They haven't sold. So I'll then go and end those items. I'll do that for all the items that I feel need to get a new boost, a new item boost. And then I'll go in to the ended items and I'll select those items and then do a sell similar. And it's good if you can go in and make some changes on those items. Maybe it's your pricing. And of course, if you want to go item by item and do it, change the title, focusing on the first 5 words of the title. But you're certainly working with your own. Now, with new listings, I've got this thing that I just picked up. So what I like to do is I like to go find sold items, and then I will then do a sell similar off of those to create the new listing, because chances are they have good item specifics. They probably had a good title because the item did sell after all, and build off of what they did. Now, does that mean blindly just letting everything go, use what they had and move on and for a faster listing process? No, because a lot of times I find that they put just weird stuff in some of these item specifics and it can be improved upon. So there's 2 ways to do it. And sometimes you're using your own, sometimes you're using others. Let's see. We've got Mr. Sadie, towards your WSOP for old guys turning this year. Well, awesome. Thank you, Mr. Sadies. Yeah, I'm going to.
Are you really going to play?
I want to, yes.
Again?
I want to. This is the first year that I get to play in the seniors tournament.
Oh my!
I get to be the youngster at the seniors
terrible.
tournament.
I'm married to a senior. That sounds so.
Everyone at some point has married somebody before they became a senior, and the vows don't say till senior does us part. So seniority does us part. So, but thank you, Mr. Sadie. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for that. That is quite awesome. And it's a super chat, not tied into me buying Jenna a coffee. So that's even extra special.
Buy me a coffee because I'm almost out of cream.
Let's see what we have here. Tommy says, Lisa, I do a bunch of shoe lots. I do same size, style, size, under 5 pounds. So I keep it on Poshmark as well with no extra charges. Yeah, he's doing a really good job on that. I've seen some of his listings. He does well with that. Maya says, I need to do a lot of that with my death pile, a lot of good items that need to be stain treated. Maybe someone would want to buy lots on Poshmark for cheap with the flaws disclosed. And I think Tommy goes really far with, like, it's almost like he's telling people, don't buy this because it's full of just all kinds of problems when it doesn't even have those kind of problems, just so that they don't expect, something better than it is. Patricia, Lisa, are there any sold lots in your categories you can study for ideas? That is a good thing to do. Check to see. I mean, if you're trying to lot up something that no one's even had success lotting, it's probably not going to be worth your time.
Yeah.
Carl Lexer Findings, longtime subscriber, always looking forward watching your videos. You both are great. Well, thank you for dropping in and saying hi. Yeah. Don't be a stranger.
Don't be a stranger. We love to see you.
Let's see. Tommy says, Maya is lot them if the time to treat doesn't make the price worth it. I'm shocked at what people buy. So yeah, these are shoes that Tommy doesn't even bother to mess with cleaning wise and all that, right? And people are still buying them.
Honorary Squaw got his ching low dollar.
Got my ching. Hey,
it wasn't a cha-ching.
Yeah, that's not even ching. It's not even worthy of putting anything in front of it.
Well, I guess money's money, right?
It is. A sale is a sale. Darn it. Otherwise, why do we even bother listing it? Maya says, Tommy, I'm kind of at the point where I'm over stain treating unless it's something that really easy to get rid of. I just have too much to deal with. Yeah, it be overwhelming. If you have more stock coming, I think, and Jenna was asking me, why is Tommy not cleaning those shoes? And just, was it you or somebody else?
It wasn't me.
Okay, it was somebody else.
Tommy, he is senior and delusional.
I'm getting old, guys. It was somebody I was talking to saying, yeah, this is a good idea. Because we have a tote full of shoes, and I'm thinking maybe I'll do the same thing that Tommy's doing.
Yeah, we never have that.
And it's like, why is Tommy doing that with the shoes? And it tells me he probably has a lot of stock coming, and it's a good way to get rid of stuff that he doesn't want to mess with.
Cliff?
I don't know, Cliff. What do you mean? Semperfi says, who's Cliff?
I don't know.
You're getting old.
No.
Says, made a big sale in my, well, we're all getting old. Made a big sale, and my other big sale decided they wanted to return because they thought it was a flat iron and it's a crimping iron.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I hate when that happens.
Wait, what can say, Jenna? What? No, go down.
Go down.
Down, right there.
Jenna, don't break the train of thought with Ron Burgundy. Going back to what Semperfi said, I had a return. This person opens up an INAD return. It's like a mahogany pamphlet holder. It has like 4 slots. And it makes no mention of the word books. It has the dimensions of the pockets. And the photo shows an example of pamphlets in there. So they get it and they say, nope, this does not fit my books. And you need to send me a return label. That was what they put in the return request. So I'm like, what the hell? So I accepted the return request because you can't not. I get it back and I'm looking at the listing and I'm looking at what they said. I'm looking at, there's nothing wrong with this thing. And so it's like, they didn't read the listing. They didn't look at the dimensions I put in there, but yet they opened an INAD return. What can you do? It sucks. And I wouldn't doubt that whole thing is.
Sometimes I just wonder about the thickness of the head.
Maya says, Tommy, yeah, got a lot of this stuff is items I got at the bins or some stuff that came in Helpsy boxes where I already made a good profit on the rest of the box. Like, why put more time into this stuff? Yeah. Lot it up if you can. Dark Horse Productions says Shinedown is great. So I'm going to have to listen to some Shinedown and see what Beard's listening to nowadays. Tommy says, I'd make lots for sure. Lisa, 2 to 3 dozen. Just search ornaments, lots sold, and get an idea of the amount seems to move most often. Yeah. John Gaynor says, hi, Jen and John. Idea for when you redo the background, just put up toilet seats in the brick back wall. That will be an eye-opener for the podcast.
No, I can't deal. I can't deal with that.
The Tampa Bay Picker's with us. Thanks for being here.
Tampa Bay Picker.
Marcy's with us as well. It says, hi, everyone. Great sales weekend. Today, not so much listening while working. I almost always listen to your lives while working, so I don't comment much. I'm also from Lakeland, Florida, but I don't know Kevin.
Okay,
so you can't tell us if he's okay or not. I haven't
he's
seen
still
him.
in Lakeland.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about him. He hasn't dropped in today. I know he dropped into Josh's live. I heard him say, hello, Kevin from Lakeland. But if you're out there, Kevin, say hi. We'd like to hear from you. Tommy says, Lisa, if you have any Disney or Harry Potter, hit me up. My girls may not have them. I'll save you time and buy them. Well, that's very nice of you. Curious Collection says, hello from Central Florida.
Central Florida.
And Statistics says, hi, FAE, came for my free sale.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for
We're handing them out.
I think I'm catching up to folks too.
I think you are.
Dark Horse Productions says, so buy it now at ideal price with offers at lowest price I'll accept is what I'm doing. So apparently don't do that. If I use coupons, that's all fine and well, but should I just not do offers in that case and bring the price down some? Yeah, bring your price. If you're doing fixed price right now and you're not getting sales, one thing you could try is to set maybe a markdown sale where you're offering just a really, really deep discount, and make sure that it's not bringing it down where you're losing money on the item. If you're just trying to move stuff like I'm going to be doing, 50%, even upping the price a little bit, before, in bulk, like adding 10 to 15 to 20%, slapping a 50%er off of there. You're really only giving 30%, but they see 50 and they think, wow, this is a deal. And it did work for our other store when we did that for a little while.
Yeah.
Let's see. Maya says, John, you can go for senior discount day at Goodwill and Savers. Yeah. What day is that?
I don't know. You'll have to figure that out, Mr. Senior.
I know. Jeez, don't remind me.
I may have to take you with me shopping.
Curious Collection, thumbs up. Thanks for the sale I just got. There you go. Awesome. And Lissa says, then no matter what they get, they'll be thrilled. It's better than described. Great tactic. Mm-hmm. I think so. We do. You always under promise and over deliver.
Yes.
And that way you're gonna save yourself a lot of headache. I've had many people say, wow, these actually look new and they don't have the scuffs or things that were put in the listing. It's a reverse INAD, but the buyer's happy because of it. Dark Horse Production says, I have accepted that returns are normal and I'm cool with them. I know my customer service and communication will shine through.
Yes.
Yeah, don't be that seller that's like, I don't take returns. I read a post today on one of the Facebook groups, because I do that when I wake up in the morning and I'm reading through these things. And they're like, yeah, should I take this? Should I accept this return? And that tells me that they have no returns. eBay will still allow you to accept the return. And it's not good for your placement in search to have no returns, for one. But buyers are always going to wonder, like, why don't they allow us to return it?
Why won't they let me return it?
Yeah, am I going to get, because buyers don't want to be scammed, just as sellers don't want to be scammed, mm-hmm. Right? Tommy says, if the time to clean doesn't make them $40 or more, I'll sell them at 20 to 30 each without touching. That's my baseline. That's smart. Dark Horse says, if you're not happy with an item you purchased from me, I don't want you to be saddled with it. That should be the mentality, right? But Some people just want to get rid of stuff knowing it's crappy, and they're willing to toe the line of maybe not disclosing all the problems, hoping that someone won't notice. Sort of like the time many, many years ago, I ordered a pizza, and I ordered a pizza with pepperoni and mushroom, and they brought it out with pepperoni. And I said, "There's no mushroom." And the waitress said, "I was hoping you wouldn't notice." Like, really?
I will never forget that.
Like, what? Really? And it's
Yeah.
no surprise that place wasn't in business like 6 months later. That's the kind of thing that they do. That's not good.
Yeah.
Steve says, "Made it late."
Steve.
Well, now you're gonna have to go and look at the replay though. But thanks for hanging out with us. Tommy says, "Yeah, at least Lisa, because I have no returns on them. So the goal is to undersell, over deliver, and avoid INAD and forced return." So you do have no returns on those? That's interesting.
On the ones that are,
I would think that he would have returns on them. We got Beard King Picker from the Locker Room podcast, the Reseller Locker Room podcast. Sorry. When you're old, you forget things like that. So thanks for being here. Larry Way Out says, "Evening, John, Jenna, and chat."
Hello, Larry.
Awesome. And then Tommy says,
he's the real Larry.
Yeah, it's so much easier to buy than list. Who'd have thunk it? Yeah, that's the fun part of reselling. Susan Arrington says, "I'm doing Markdown and 2.1 and only 2 sales all weekend." Yeah, maybe bump it up a little bit.
I would say.
I mean, you'll do better than those who don't promote. You'll do better than those who promote at 2%, but not by much. Yeah. Maya wants to know what Tommy uses for shoe cleaning products. I have also a hard time motivating myself to clean shoes. Go figure. Yeah, it's not the fun part of it.
Job, but I will do that over listing.
Maya says, "I have a pair of suede Sorel boots that has a little bit of glue residue on the side that I can't get off. I'm kind of afraid to mess it up." That's kind of tough, but
especially with what color are they? Because that could. Suede is just
and it's even worth your time at this point. List them the way they are
and let the person who buys them figure it out.
Drew Trot says, "Good day, guys.
Good day.
Glad I caught the live." Well, thanks for being here, Drew. And the fact that you said good day makes me think you're from Australia. Maybe I'm wrong, but thank you for being here anyway.
Well, you're wrong.
I'm always wrong. Tommy says, "List them that way. Maya Sorel has lost most of their value. Not worth worrying about."
Well, there you go. You heard it from.
And Larry Way Out says, "Beard King, I subscribed earlier today. So we have 114 people. So while you're subscribing to the eBay Power Hour podcast, go over and check out Beard King's channel as well. I know he works hard at doing his videos. So check him out." Maya says, "Okay, yeah, I noticed that. I don't know what happened to Sorel this year." I don't know anything about Sorel, so don't feel bad.
Burlington is flooded with them. Killed the market.
There you go.
That's why.
Maya says, "Yeah, it makes sense. I saw a bunch of them at Dick's warehouse sale and only found one that was still worth flipping." So we are at the bottom at the end of chat.
How in the heck did that happen at 4:43?
I know. I actually am improving a little bit here.
I know.
Or maybe
it's just because you want to stop me from talking, so you move on to the next.
No, I hear that. I hear that, like the folks that watch the Power Hours, they were saying that I'm talking too much. So I'm gonna.
You know my feeling on that already.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give Josh the. He doesn't like driving the train. Have you ever noticed we have different placements? One's on the left, one's on the right, and if you're on the left, you're driving the train. So he hates it when I put him in that spot. But I think I'm gonna have.
Drew is the reselling king of Sydney.
Okay, see, I knew it. Good eye, and I was right. So that's awesome. So yes, I've caught up 15 minutes early. Give you guys a reprieve. I don't know what time Beard's going to be doing his live. Normally, I send you guys over to his channel,
he has
Bearded Picker's channel. And he is going to talk about the book Profit First.
Yep. And he's going live at 5 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah. So that's in the next 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
It's a good idea. Go check him out. It's a way to kind of get motivated, to give yourself the business mindset to read some of these books. I will be at some point, and I may drop in to hear what he's saying. But honestly, I can't contribute to the conversation because I just haven't listened to it yet.
Try. Sometimes you like to.
Mike says, "Now you have time to drink some of your juice." Yeah, juice stuff, right?
He's got to get juiced up for his.
Yeah, this is, where's it at? Where did you put my juice? Oh. The juice. And this channel is not sponsored by Mio.
But it should be.
My juice, but it should be. But I will take this time for those of you guys who are still here with us, that I want to thank our sponsors, which is GyroPack. Get your bubble mailers and your poly mailers to them. There's a link in the chat. Also, Vendu. They are a great way to start cross-listing from eBay to Mercari, Poshmark, Etsy, and all those sites, and a good way to list back to all those sites. And it's just a good way to get your items in front of more eyes and more exposure. And of course, don't forget our friends at American Bubble Boy. You can get
Speaking of, you need to put in an order.
I do, and I shall. Yeah. And you should too.
Jovial said 15 minutes to read the book, John. Hurry and fast forward through it.
Yeah, I know. Put it on like 5 times setting.
Speed.
US Sports Card says, congrats on such a high like percentage. Well, thank you. Usually that's offset by the folks that like to always, I get like 3 or 4 people who like to put a thumbs down.
Because there's always an a-hole in the group.
But the thing is, it's like as soon as I launch a video, it's like
ridiculous because it's the same people. No, we know who it is.
But
anyway,
I got to tell you that they're subscribed to my channel, which is good. They give that thumbs down. It's actual engagement into the video, so they can keep doing it. I'm happy that they're doing it. So thank you guys for being here.
Said you're a failure.
I'm a failure.
Yeah.
I feel like a failure because I haven't read the first chapter of that book. But I'm going to try to work while I'm listening tonight. I might tune in later and maybe hang out in the chat later once I get some stuff done. But I got a lot of work to do myself, as I talked to you guys about at the beginning of this live, and a lot of things to fix. So with that, just want to say thank you for being here. But figuring out slow sales and how to overcome them, and sometimes you create your own slow sales with all the things you do, and in my case, things I'm not doing. But it's yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your evening, and you will hear from us.
Have a great week, guys.
Yes, you'll hear from us very soon. Head over to the Power Hour, eBay Power Hour podcast real quick. Give us a subscribe, and then jump over to Bearded Picker's channel for the rest of your evening. So take care, everyone.
Love you guys.